I didn't say good morning this time. I actually thought about it. Welcome to the live stream. Today, we're going to be continuing to work on our Dialect Quiz Bot project. And for the last couple weeks, we've been actually working with the Dataset, courtesy of Bert Vaux. Thank you, Bert. And we are going to be, I'm waiting for this to start so I can pause it. Excellent. We're going to be continuing to work on our data cleaning. So, where we've gotten so far, we have, let's just run some of this code. We have two data frames at this point, two CSVs. So one is this original data set, and let's just look at the head of that. Nope. There we go. So it is a very wide data frame. There are about 124 questions in the original data quiz, original dialect quiz. Oh, could I increase mic volume? Yeah, sure could. How's that? Okay, looks like I'm not in the yellow yet, and I can also move this slightly. Ooh, that one was red. How's that? Okay, if I see it getting into the red, I will decrease it. So we are working with a very wide data frame. So we have 4 columns of sort of information about the participant. Each row is a participant. There are 47,000 rows, give or take. And we have the participant ID, the city, and I believe this the question was phrased like, where have you spent the most time, or consider yourself to me close, or it might have been like, where did you spend ages 0 through 6 might have been the question. Yeah, I did not take the original dialect quiz. I have taken some of the ones that, or not the quiz, but the data collection. I have taken some of the ones that have come out since then. City, state, and zip code. So these are all people from the United States. So when I say dialect quiz, I mean dialects of the United States and English as it is spoken in the United States. And we don't care about, for the purposes of this particular assistant, we don't care about Spanish or French or any of the First Nation languages, or German. There's some German speakers in the U.S., or I want to say there's a population of speakers of some Nordic languages. Here in Seattle, we have a lot of Amharic speakers. We have a lot of speakers of Asian languages, and we don't care about any of those for the purposes of this particular dialect quiz. So, very limited. And to get back to talking about the data frame, so it's very wide, and each column is a specific question. We don't have the text of the questions, and then they were multiple choice. So the choice, the index of the choice in the multiple choice is what the numbers are in here. So on the first day stream for data cleaning, we went through and made this question key where we had the text of the questions. We just went through and looked up each of the questions on the Harvard Dialect Quiz Harvard Dialect Survey. And the number of the questions, we can use this to get the actual text that we should be asking. And then the answers. So we also reduce the number of questions dramatically. So this is a subset of the questions that were asked in the New York Times dialect quiz, which was based on the Harvard Dialect Survey. And I am putting my trust in the developers of that quiz that they picked the most discriminative questions, the ones that will give you the most information about where somebody is from. What we have done so far. So example of a question is, what do you call it when the rain falls while the sun is shining? Possible answers: sun shower, the wolf is giving birth, devil is beating his wife, monkey's wedding, fox's wedding, pineapple rain, liquid sun, I have no term or expression for this, which the majority of people would say, and then other. Yeah, and at some point we're going to have to figure out a way to take the plain text inputs that people are giving us, because we're not giving them multiple choices. We're just asking the question and then they are answering it in natural language, which is better, a better protocol for these sorts of dialect elicitation tasks, but obviously harder to do. And then at some point we're going to have to find a way to classify answers into one of these answers or other. I'll probably build little classifiers for each question, and then if the confidence is below a certain threshold, lump them in with the other. Yeah. Sufficient unto the day, though. That is not what we're working on today. Last week, we started taking those two data frames and squanching them together. We created this new column in our data frame with the data key. So that's this data set here, where we take these answers, which are separated by semicolons, and turn them into a list. So now the last column is each item, as you can see here, is a list, and it has a different number of... Oh, excuse me, I can't use the green one. I keep forgetting. It looks, as you can see, pretty funky. It's green zebra pattern. So what we want to do now is we want to take, for each question, because we're only extracting some of the questions from the big data set, this big data set, we want to go through and we want to replace the number with the answer, because we want to have, and at some point in the future, for training our machine learning model, we're going to need to encode this back to numeric, because I'm probably going to use XGBoost, and XGBoost expects numeric input using some kind of encoding scheme. But in order to take the input and then turn it into the correct word, basically to take the correct word and turn it into the correct number, and to consistently do that, we need to make sure that we have the encoder that we use to do that. And also, I am going to want just the plain text for training my assistant, so that it can know what things look like. I don't know where the classifier for each of the items is going to go, though. By which I mean, so the classifier that's like, if someone says sun shower with a space, we want to say that, hey, they meant sun shower. If someone said monkey wedding, we want to be like, oh yeah, they meant monkey's wedding. Am I too fuzzy matching for that? I don't know. I'm all over the place this morning, huh? So we converted the last column into a list. We got only the questions that we wanted. So you can see that data subset, we have, again, 47,000 rows, but 19 variables. And it's 19 because we're not including the first 4 rows with information about where the person is from. And I'm probably not going to use zip code because I think that's a little... well, I'm trying to decide which one is going to be more helpful while exposing the least information about the data donors. Hi, Shabam, welcome. Good to have you back on the stream. So the things that we need to do now, one thing that we did last week was that we created this function that takes in, all right, what did I do? Where's target question? Object target question not found, rlang last error. Could not find function, convert answer to text. Okay, so this, well, okay, we're gonna start by debugging. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's not running the whole. There we go. So the error I was getting is that target question is what's an argument to this function, and I was running just this block of code, which refers to the argument of the function. Okay, so I think we should be good to go. And if we look at just the output of that target question function, you can see that we now have text, you guys, you all, you, other, not a lot of y'alls in here. Y'all, there's a y'all, I'm a y'aller. You all, I don't see anyone who says yins. I think that was an option, or use. I think that was another option. But we've converted our numeric input into text input. The problem here is the length of the input vector to begin with, and here is the length of the output vector. So we've lost about 1,000 rows, and the reason is because they are missing. So the first thing that we need to do today is figure out how to deal with the missing variables. I think I might, to be honest, let's just see what it looks like if we, yeah, thank you, drop NA and then get the dimensions. So this percent less than, greater than, that way. Percent is a pipe, and it's just like a pipe and bash. It'll take the input of the thing that is to the left and pass it on to whatever on the right. Pretty sure that's left and right. I am dyslexic, and non-cardinal directions are exquisitely painful for me. So what I'm noticing here is, so this isn't changing anything. It's just creating a copy and then giving the information on the copy. AJS says, "G'day, how's you going? Sorry if I'm interrupting." Not at all. Welcome. So what I am noticing here is that when I drop all of the NAs, the dimension of the output has more rows than the dimension of the output of this convert answer to text. Let's take a quick look at the range of, we were working on Q50, right? And then Q05, that's the one. Sorry, not rand, range. Oh, okay. We got this. So the fixed. Okay, so the problem was, yes, we were dropping NAs. That was one half of the problem. The other problem was that I did not realize that the data set was being indexed from 0, but our index is from 1. So the things that we're trying to index into 0 were just not working. Now, my question here is 0 the first option or the last option? And were there really 9 options? What was it? Data key? Yeah. Okay, so there were definitely 9 options for this first one. So it looks right. The dimensions of the data set are correct. What I don't want to do is map the wrong text to the wrong answer, and I don't have ground truth for this key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my specialized knowledge as a linguist, and I'm going to take a look at this output, because I have a rough idea of what should be the most common. You guys, okay, y'all, you all, yes, yins, you lot, yous, youans, and then other. That feels good to me. Yeah, okay, so I'm actually pretty pleased with this. And this is just me knowing roughly how frequent these forms are. Let's do another one that I have a pretty good sense of. Let's say Q110. That's another one I have a pretty good sense of. Okay, so, yeah, so the most common option is I have no word for this, which is correct. That should be the most common option. And then Mischief Night and Devil's Night, which I think is right. Others also pretty big. Trick Night, Goose Night, and Cabbage Night, less common. And then Gate Night, sort of on parallel with Goose Night and Trick Night. Okay, that feels good to me. Let's do one more, and it's the soda pop one. 8. Just to double check. Let's see. 080, and then I want the table. Okay, it was not 8. Let's just quickly look at this. I was looking for information on 105 is the one that I want. Sweetened carbonated beverage, which is like soda pop. Phosphate, I think some people say that. Fizzy drink, I don't think is an American thing. Okay, so soda is far and away the highest occurrence, and then pop, and then Coke. Those are sort of the 3 main versions. Sorry, my mic is directly in front of my screen. And then soft drink, tonic, lemonade, dope fizzy drink, and lemonade are pretty rare. Okay, I think we've got this right based on just my sort of knowledge of the dialects of American English and frequency. So, yeah, I think we're good. With that in mind, I am just going to drop all the NAs. So we are going to lose... So we're going to lose about 1,200 rows, which I'm honestly fine with. Because we have a pretty large data set to begin with, and I can live with that. Awesome. So now we should be able to make this work. Did not. Oh, right, we need to rerun this. All right, so we're having... having some issues. Okay, so it must be... All right. What's the length of this one? Let's try reloading the function. I think it should work. What you grumpy about? Oh, fantastic. Kind of fantastic. It works like a... All right. Okay. So we have created a new column. Actually, we've technically created a copy of our existing data set. And we have a new column that does have this information in it. But right now it is called Convert Ants to Text, column name data subset 1. Focus on me. Thank you. Which is not what we're looking for. And I'm getting in the red a little bit, so sorry if it sounds a bit peaky. Noted. So the thing that I want to do now is I want to convert this string. I want the... I want to have the name of this column be Q050. So I want to replace this column Can I do multiple columns? Okay, so I think it's just creating one column. I think it is time to do a Google. So what are we looking for? We are looking to apply function to every column R. We may need to Stack Overflow. We may need to use an apply function and move out of the tidy first for this, but we shall see. When you would like to change the name of the columns as well, which I do not. Following is a neat way to do it without a for loop. What's the function that this person is trying to... Same operation on certain columns. I'd like to multiply them by -1. What is this .sd? Oh, it's a data.table. Okay. This is not going to work for me because I'm working in a tibble. Yeah, okay, so this is going to be data table specific. Apply function on every second column, apply function on specific data frame columns. That might be what I'm looking for. I do want to do it on all the columns though, and then I'll just merge back the rows with the columns, excuse me, with my target variables. I'm just gonna each row. Yeah, I just want to apply x margin function. Okay. Lapply on list objects and returns a list object of the same length. I don't need that. List. I think I can just do apply. All right. Rows and columns. So my margin needs to be 2. So let's pop that over there. Chen Daniel Y says, if you apply on a data frame, it works on each column. Yeah. I just thought there might be like another way to do it, but I don't think there is. Rachel, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? Listen. Sometimes you get stuck down a weird path, and that just happens. Over columns, and then my function is, of course, convert ants to text. The weird thing here is that the convert ants to text needs the name of the column. I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah. Oh, maybe that's the wrong... Oh, that's not gonna work. I was gonna say maybe that's the wrong margin. It should definitely apply over columns. All right. Yeah, it's the bit where you need the name of the column that is tripping me up. Chen Daniel Y says, if you can apply or map df on the data frame and then put in the data frame as input, and the function is a function, maybe map_df would work. Possibly. I am not familiar with that. Map_df. I have gotten some maps, specifically of South Africa. Not what I was looking for. Here we go. Per. It's a little bit small. Let me bop that up for you. Row binding, column binding, atomic vector. I think this is probably not exactly what you were talking about. Could you rewrite the function so it takes names df as part of the map call? I guess so. I'm gonna see if I can apply R take column names as input. That may be the thing that is easiest. Pandas, that's not what I'm looking for. For those of you who aren't familiar, Pandas is Python. It's a Python implementation of base R, basically, so it doesn't include a lot of the tidyverse stuff that we've been working with. Hold up. All it needs is the name. Hold up. I do want to get my thing back. What if I just do all of the names? Will that work? You can just highlight and run. I don't know why I'm trying to paste it. Reached, get option. Chen says, so it's almost like doing an mapply divided by map to df. I think the per thing that I was just looking at would actually probably work. Let's see, because it was saying something about specify conditions. X. Use an anonymous function. Chen says, so it was, the slash was an or, so it's like doing an mapply or map to df. Map or returns a list, data frame, map df or dfc. Yeah, let's try it. What is this dot x? So dot refers to the output of the I think dot refers to the output of the previous version of the pipe, the previous step in the pipe. Data. And I've hit caps lock. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is there a way to do this? R function get column name. Retrieving column names. Can I just do call names over one? No. No. Is it a list? No. All right. Wait. No. All right. Chen says, in map, the dot is used when you pass in a formula. The formula tilde dot refers to function x. It's a shortcut for not typing function x of x. Oh, I see. For Anonymous functions. Okay. Which would be like a lambda function in Python. Beans. I thought I had something. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna use a loop. Listen, I know it's not best practice. I know it's gonna be slower, but I have 19 columns, and I think we can just learn to live with it. Chen says, is this example similar to what you want? X name. I'm gonna copy it into my IDE so y'all can see and are not just mystified. Rip. Okay, so interesting. So this is a wrapper function that takes the name in. Jen said, oops, the new line didn't show up. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, I think that would work. I think I'm also just ready to I'm just ready to throw in the towel and do a for loop. The first Stack Overflow result for looping over columns is don't loop in R. Thank you. Okay. I think that's fairly close. I'm done trying to be clever, though, and I'm ready for dumb stuff. Ooh, it's been a minute since I wrote a for loop in R. I don't think this is gonna work. Okay, that did actually work. I did remember the syntax. All right, and then what I want to do is get the convert ands to text. And this, I'm not going to run this, just this, because it'll print it and it'll be bad. Listen, I know this is bad, but you know what? It's fine. I'm going to be doing this data cleaning once. This is not going to be run every time somebody talks to the bot. New data frame. How to create null data frame R. Create an empty data frame. That is what I want. Oh yeah. We can do that. So this takes wrong assignment operator for my style guide that I am using right now. So this takes in a existing data frame. Let's use data frame subset and just samples none of it. I know. All right. Arguments imply differing number of rows. Ah, yes, that will do it. So what I actually want to do is I want to take I want all the rows and none of the columns. is what I want. And now I should have well, okay. Some problems that I'm noticing right off. Will this work? Will it parse that? I don't think it's going to parse that. So I'm trying to get the, all right, the names to not be new call to be like the names of the thing. I guess what I could do is take the column names of empty data frame and God, this is hacky. And then make that just be the column names of data subset. Nope, that's not gonna work because I'm always putting, yep. If I'm gonna do that, I need to make sure that my columns are in the same order. So I need to always add them to the right. And it's just at the head of MTTF. Also, I'm noticing some NAs here, which is a little bit upsetting to me, considering that I removed all of them. So we're gonna have to figure that out, huh? Okay, and we know that 050 was y'all, and it looks like it is. Fantastic. Okay. Excuse me. So I think we are good to go, more or less. So I'm just gonna get rid of this. Convert answer. What would you call that? Index to text answer in a horrible, hacky way. Do not do at scale. Okay. Sharon Daniel Y says loop over. I'm just gonna copy this so I don't have to read it. Not that I don't want to read it, but that it's hard to read code aloud correctly for me. This, and use that to index both the column and the column names. Oh. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, that would work. And I think would be slightly more elegant, but I am also very, very ready to be done looking at these lines of codes. All right, so we have finished our to-dos. I'm gonna nuke those. We've got about 20 minutes left. What do I want to do with my question text at the moment? I think the answer is nothing. I think I don't want to mess with my question text at all right now. What I do want to do is what I do want to do is convert cell with answer key to a list. Chen Daniel says, I too have had my fair share of writing hacky for loops. Yep. Very memorably, when I was a very, very baby R programmer in grad school, I wrote a script with like 5 sets of nested for loops. Like, the time complexity was so bad. Anyway, I ran it over like 1,800 lines of a CSV. Basically, it was doing some audio processing for me. And it took the main lab computer 24 hours to do it. It was very, very, very slow. I mean, I got my data out, and it was like faster for me than it would have been otherwise, but ooh. Did not go well for me. All right, so now what we're going to do is let's create a new data frame that we are calling question with, what do we call this data key? Questions with text, I think, is a good name for this data frame, and we want to column bind, so this way, not this way, bind our empty data frame, now, humorously misnomered, and then in front of the empty data frame, we want the first this is the point at which I have to make decisions about whether I want the city, whether I want the state, and whether I want the zip. So my big thing here is when people are using the assistant, the conversations will be stored. And I'm a little bit worried about, it's not that big a deal, but I would prefer to avoid storing private information about people unnecessarily, which I think is just best practice in general. And my worry is if I'm like, specific town, like Sugar, I don't know how big, I don't know what the name is, but I haven't heard of that town before, so maybe it's kind of small. And my worry would be someone being like, oh yeah, I'm from that town of, 100 people, and I say these things, and being able to sort of like reverse engineer who they might be. And these are the people who donate their data like knew that they were doing this. This isn't like a sneaky thing. There was definitely informed consent, and they are fine having it shared, and it's fairly anonymous, especially since we're only looking at 19 questions. I think for now I'm going to take it, and what I might do is I might look through the cities and find the ones that have the smallest population and get rid of those, and just not include those as categories. Which we might need to do anyway, because I imagine that these are some pretty imbalanced classes. I'm going to go with there's probably more people from, I was going to say this is Pittsburgh, but it's Pittsfield maybe? There's probably more people from Boise than there are from Burlington, because I'm pretty sure Boise is a bigger city than Burlington. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like it is. So we may need to sort of do some imbalanced class handling anyway. For now, I think I'm going to take city, state, and zip. I may change my mind later. So that is from data original is what we called it. And we want RC cola, so rows first, and then columns. We want all the rows, so we're going to leave that blank. And the columns, we want 2, 3, and 4. So 2 through 4. All right, and when we look at... and this is get the questions with text and the location information. So when we look at this, we should, see... That's a lot of NAs. Huh. I was fairly sure I dropped those. I might just go through and assign all NAs to other. Yeah, I think I am going to actually do that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to Google how to do something. Tidyverse replace all NA with text. replace NA. So the function for that is, zooming in. The function that is replace underscore NA, replace NA x0, y, oh, I see. So that's what it does in the case of x and y. Okay, this, do I have to give it, do I have to select all first, maybe? So let's do this in a separate line. Questions with text, and then I want to replace NA, and I want to replace it with other. Do I need to give it a specific column, and will it yell at me? Is list replace not true? Okay, does it need to be a list? Null are the list column equivalent of NAs. NAF to replace specified values with NA. Coalesce, recode to more generally replace values. Can I do it in every column? For character values, recode values are named with arguments only. Unmatched values are unchanged. Character vector. My question is, can I do it across an entire data frame? Well, let's try it. So recode, and then do I need to give it a name? 2 equals B, 4 C. I don't know that that'll work either. All right, well, first let's make this, let's see, replace all values. Let's see. A vectorized version of switch. You can replace numeric values based on the position of the name and character, or factor values only by name. This is an S3 generic. dplyr provides methods for number, characters, and factors. For logical vectors, use if-else. For more complicated criteria, use when. Recode, replacement. About just replace. Sample n rows from a table. Recode values. Convert values to NA. Can I do the opposite of this? Yeah, that's what I want. All right. Replace NA data and then what you replace it with. All right. That didn't work. It didn't work for us though. If you remember. NAF to replace specific returns a data frame if it's a vector. A named list giving the value to replace n if data is a vector, a single value used for replacement. A named list giving the value to replace NA with for each column. I just want to do it everywhere. Excellent. Chen Daniel Y has the base R version, which, you know what, sometimes that'll work. Okay, so that is replace.isNA with 0. Oh. Let's give that a whirl. And instead of empty cars, which is a sample data set, we're going to do questions with text. Are you going to yell at me? Temp this value other, invalid factor level, NA generated. So let's just quickly check out the, what is it, coalesce, and see what that looks like. All right, first of all, let's not introduce fancy-pantsy errors. All right. Maybe table? Attempt to make table with elements. Okay, it needs to be applied over columns. Excuse me? Okay. Back to apply. Apply R. How to apply functions on rows and columns for dummies. I wouldn't call myself a dummy, but sometimes you need things explained simply, you know? Apply counts to max. All right. So, apply is the data frame. And then the margin, which is 1 for rows and 2 for columns. And then the function. Jiminy cricket, that's an enormous pop-up. Sorry, I was looking at the For Dummies version. It was just like, huge pop-up, very intrusive. Ooh, should have put a lid on that. It is lukewarm. Argument values is missing with no default. Argument values is missing with no default. All right, back to Google. Apply custom function R. A tutorial with examples. That sounds like me. Doop, 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 doop. Boop, boop, doop, boop. Function is the function to be applied. I just want the sample code. Function X. Okay. Oop. And Daniel has an example, which something about Twitch chat just absolutely murders spacing. Nope, that's not gonna be it at all, huh? Okay, so this bit is adding NAs. Cars is a built-in, so I already have access to it. And this one is... I see. Okay, yeah, that works great. Thank you, Daniel. You are being a fantastic help. Okay, so what is the difference between the code that I had and this code? I genuinely cannot see a difference. Okay, so I am actually getting the same error, it looks like. Is it just that I have a lot of... What's 2 to the 31? Okay, so I should not have that many errors. I should not have that many... These ones. Rows. I shouldn't have that many rows in my data set. All right. We're getting a data frame out, right? Factor with 8 levels. Factor with 5 levels. Factor with 6 levels. Factor with 9 levels. Character. It's a data frame. Ah. Okay. Hold up, hold up. I have a suspicion. Numeric. Yes. What about empty data frame, huh? When have strings been converted to factors? Yeah, all right. Noted. C-bind, string as factors false. C-bind, strings as factors false. No, I think that it's probably... Yes, that's exactly what I want. So it sounds like someone else has run into this exact same problem. So our base R has this thing where it will convert any string input to factors, so you can treat it as a categorical variable, which can sometimes be very helpful, but should not be done by default. All right, cbind.data.frame, it looks like will work. So .data.frame. All right, and now if we look at, did you see how long that took? It hung. It hung. It's because I wrote bad code, and no one should do what I just did, unless you need to, because you're working on something. And then from here, we wanted to look at the structure of empty data frame. It's a factor. I don't want it to be a factor. All right, did not work. My own matrix, which you did not intend. Oh, you can just use strings as factors as false in cbind. Fantastic. Okay, so at some point when, because when you use cbind, so there's a reason that this particular pattern that I have done is very much an anti-pattern in R, and a big reason is that when you bind rows or columns in R, every time you bind a new one, you can create a copy, which means that the nice. All right. Huh? Tricky, so tricky. I missed one. So I was doing it here, and I was like, okay, great. We still don't have factors. And here, it. I was c-binding again, and I forgot about it, and it has replaced all my doohickeys. All right, fantastic. And we should now be able to. We should be able to do table now because it. Still doesn't work. Great. Just what I needed. I don't know. At this point, I think I'm happy with it where it is. Do you see any NAs? Just looking at the top a little bit, I don't. Let's actually just like sample. I don't know. 16 rows. Other. Okay, I'm not seeing NAs. I am seeing a lot of others. I think we have done it. Why is zip code in this part of the data frame? Weird. Oh, Daniel says if you table a data frame, it seems like it's cross-tabulating all the columns. That's probably why you have so many new cells. You need to apply table, not run table. Gotcha. Or I could do summary, which is excuse me? Pardon me? Okay, that is what I expected. Sorry, I ran summary and it said it's a data frame with 0 columns and 1 row, which is not the output I was expecting, to put it mildly. And I'm just going to add this bit here to get rid of all of the NAs. And by get rid of, I mean just replace with the text other. Ugh. The white space just looks very wrong, but I think it is technically correct. All right, and then what is it? Write to CSV questions with text, and then we're gonna call this questions with text.csv. All right, and we should be good to go. All right, and let's just call that a day and switch to this one, Python, real quick. Give myself some whiplash. It tab completed summarize instead of summary. Oh, yeah, from dplyr. Oh, and if you're wondering what my mug says, it says, I work hard so my hedgehog can have a better life. I'm going to wear little hedgehog earrings. And I have a hedgehog. It would be a little weird if I didn't. Read V and question with text. Yeah, absolutely. You can see how often I've run Python code from RStudio. Would you like to install Miniconda? Absolutely, hit me up. Daniel Chen says, you might need row names equals false when you write the CSV. I guess we will find out. So it's going to take a second to do. So what I am, XGBoost, import, God, I want to do encoding. I think XGBoost will take care of encoding, and I want to do splitting the data set, which people usually use scikit-learn for. Scikit-learn dataset split. Okay, so test size, train size. There we go. Here is the import that we need for that. I think that's the only thing we're going to need from scikit-learn. I could be wrong, but I'm trying to keep it very light. So I'm going to do my best. So XGBoost is the modeling library that we're going to use. It's a gradient boosting library. And, Daniel was providing the imports. There's a little bit of a lag between me and the chat, so. Doop, doop, doop. Oh, that's right, because it's a console, not a terminal. Pip install pandas. Anyway, so it's a gradient boosting library, and it is actually written in C and then has APIs is the word that I was looking for. Wow. In GBoost, Python and R and a couple other languages, but it's written in C. Also, just, you can see 0.1.0.1 just started their 1.0 release, so congrats to that team. Oh, hey, Abhishek. On channel for the first time, 11 parts already. I'll catch up. Yeah, we've been doing twice a week, so just on this one project. And I've definitely learned a lot. Like, I went back and watched one of my earlier videos and was like, ugh, I didn't know anything about how Rasa worked at that point. I mean, I understood the principles of a lot of stuff, but I hadn't spent as much time working with it. And then scikit-learn. Okay, I remember from the last time pip scikit-learn, the last time I tried to import scikit-learn that the pip name, yeah, there we go, was not what I would have guessed. So it is import, there we go, import. Yeah, it's because it's install. What time is it? All right, it's a little past 10. Here we go. Always real great to just you know, watch somebody installing a bunch of stuff on stream. And can I run this? So far, so good. Unicode error? Unicode error? What did I do? What did I do? It should all be UTF-8. Oh no. All right. Oh, that's worrying. What did I do? Do I have a non-breaking space in there somewhere? Well, this is an exciting development. Abhishek says pip install. Yeah, that was the error. Like I mentioned, there's a little bit of a lag. I'm not ignoring you. Yeah. Okay, that's horrifying. So let's real quick get out of Python mode. You can tell it's Python because there's 3 little instead of 1. And let's just real quick. Ooh. Question with text. Missing column name filled in with X1. All right, well, we're going to, I think, deal with that later when we figure out where I've introduced non-ASCII characters. Chen says save it as a tab delimited file. That might work. Let's see. Sep equals slash. Is that the right direction or is it the other way? I think that one's tab. Let's give that a real quick. In right CSV, attempt to set sep ignored. Is it backwards? Daniel says it is actually right delim. Let's try that. I think that's probably, sep is probably an argument of the base R version. We'll deal with that on Wednesday, but we finished our data cleaning. The data is in a set where space where I'm happy with it. I just need to figure out what I did. And then we can get our XGBoost model going and do some tuning maybe. It should go pretty quick once we have the data cleaning done. That's the data science way. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see you back here on Wednesday. I'll talk to y'all then. Bye.